A controversial voting bill in Texas is effectively dead this morning after Democrats staged a walkout before the midnight deadline. If it passed, the bill that was heavily criticized by top Texas Democrats would have banned drive-through voting and limited voting hours. NBC News political correspondent Ali Vitale joins us now. Ali, good morning. So walk us through this late night drama. How did Texas Democrats stop this vote?
They walked out. Now, this is not something that stops it completely, but it certainly was an effective stalling tactic because this bill was on the clock. It had to be passed in the House by midnight last night. House Democrats there, seeing that they didn't have a chance by going through points of order and other turns of phrase and regulations that they can use the rules to their advantage in the chamber. Instead, they walked out of the chamber and effectively made it so that no votes could be done because they didn't have a quorum of lawmakers physically in the room. Those Democratic lawmakers that left, according to the Texas Tribune, went to a nearby church meant to highlight one of the things in this bill that Democrats fought so hard against, which is voting regulations that if this bill were passed, early voting on Sunday couldn't start until 1 p.m. That would disrupt the long-held tradition of souls to the polls, folks who go predominantly black and brown, who go after church to vote, sometimes in large groups. This is something that I have covered continuously on the campaign trail and something that Democrats vociferously talked against during debate against this bill. But there's also one other thing in here that Democrats railed against during the debate period last night, and that's new language that could make it easier to overturn election results in Texas. Effectively, it targets the idea of fraud, which we did not see any widespread fraud in 2020 in Texas or anywhere else. But it's a reminder, Savannah, that all of this really stems from former President Donald Trump and that big lie that he perpetuated about the 2020 election, where he says he would have won, but the election was stolen from him. It's just not true. But here's legislation that stems from that.
And now, Ali, Governor Abbott responded after the vote was killed, calling the result, quote, deeply disappointing. So what could we see happen next here?
Yeah, again, this is a momentary pause. It is not the end of this push from Republicans to further restrict voting access in the state of Texas. It's a reminder, too, that as we saw across the map, counties throughout Texas, think specifically of that county around Houston, there were bigger numbers of people who were able to participate in voting in 2020 because they could do things like drive-through voting, 24-hour early voting. All of those things are now in the crosshairs here as Republicans say that they want to shore up election security. Again, the thing is, in 2020, the election was secure. And so for Governor Abbott, he's the only one who has the power here. He's going to call a special session back. The legislative session in Texas technically ends today. He's going to call a legislative session back for June. And he implored lawmakers in this statement that he put out after this bill did not pass last night, saying this is a priority for him. He wants lawmakers to effectively have their ducks in a row here, have all of this hammered out so that they can push it through during this special legislative session. So it's stalled for now, but keep your eyes out for this again in June.
All right, we will. Ali Vitale up late watching this for us and here with us on a holiday morning. Thank you. Good to see you.
You got it, girl.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.